Jimmy Norton, of course. Rich Voss stopped by to say hi. And Brian Regan, everybody.
Hey.
Brian
Morning,
Regan.
everybody.
Also, Psycho Mark is outside.
You might remember Psycho Mark.
He's trying to get back on the show.
Yeah.
And he came to New York because he has a lot of great ideas for the program.
Yeah.
And I guess him and Poe are yelling and screaming at each other.
What's the problem between those two?
Well, if the wireless mic is working, we'll find out. Can you guys hear us?
Yeah.
Yellow?
That was great. Radio, thanks.
Yeah.
No, he's kind of calmed down right now. He's getting his photo taken.
Yeah, Ben, what happened?
Mark didn't realize he had to fill paperwork, and he and Poe got into a huge argument. Then Poe locked him in his office, and that's when I just found out he was here.
Do you know who I am?
I just finished my paperwork. It's like 45 minutes of stuff to get out.
Yeah. You bought a house, by the way.
E-Rock.
Yeah.
Ask him what the problem was real fast so we can move on.
Hey, Mark, they want to know what the problem was.
This guy was trying to do impressions of me at the door.
He's
I
doing
don't know
voices.
what the problem is. I can't even hear these people. Who's talking to me? You? Opie. Well, can I talk to Opie?
Is he drunk?
The paperwork. What am I, signing my mortgage away here? Forget about it.
My mortgage.
Do you think his ideas are good for the show?
I don't know. Bring him in real fast.
Yeah, get him in here.
Here's some ideas for the show.
It's going to be the toughest audition in history.
Oh, my God, right?
It's not going to be good. I don't sense great ideas are coming.
This is never like, wow, that's really good.
Hey, a bunch of comics supportive group.
It's like a buzzsaw, man.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Psycho Mark.
It's like 4 rapists taking Viagra.
You have to have spina bifida to get in here? You know, it's unbelievable. Sorry, I'll put this in this over here. Hi, everybody. Nice to see everybody.
Mark,
welcome to XM. Go F yourself.
here it is.
Hey.
You know everybody, right, Mark?
Yeah, how's it going?
man?
Brian Regan, Rich
Voss,
Voss, Jim
Jimmy,
Norton, Patrice
Trace.
O'Neal.
A couple of
How
interns.
you doing, man? Listen to you guys all morning. It was very funny today. Here's Rich Voss hanging out. What, you don't have a job?
Not.
More mics.
I just stopped by to say
Well, why would that mic work?
There it is.
All right.
to the show that I'm a regular on. How's it been going?
Very good, as a matter of fact.
Good to see you, man.
Yeah, Mark.
What happened? You guys couldn't get Jeff Norris today?
Oh, my God. Now, Mark, a lot of people are familiar with Mark from the WNEW program. He got fired before we even did over there.
Yeah.
But he got fired for Sex for Sam.
Right.
But Sex for Sam 2, he got fired on.
2?
We got fired for 3.
So we got fired for 3. A year later, we were out
fun
the
and
door.
excitement.
Yes.
What was that
Very
about?
fun
I didn't hear
and
about that.
it was a little thing. If you were a guest on the show the next day, you might know. Oh, that's right. So, Mark, you were on our show back at NEW, and a lot of people wondered what the hell happened to you after you left. You went on to Fox. We knew that. Fox. You were working with that fine journalist Bill O'Reilly.
Oh, God, I have a few stories about him.
So what could top the ones that the news said that he was making perverted phone calls and telling women to loofah themselves and sexually harassing his staff?
Loofah themselves? He told them to loofah themselves with a falafel. That's
that's just sick now. That's right. Now that's sick.
God forbid a
Food
falafel
abuse.
cart ever blows up in the city.
And he worked for him, miking people or something. I don't know what you actually
I
did.
used to actually, believe it or not, I'd mic him up every night, and then I'd give him a good slap before he sat down and torture the rest of America.
And he would do the show.
And
But
then
He also produced Alan Combs' radio show.
Mr. Purple Glasses.
he has a radio show?
Yeah.
I know Hannity's got one.
This guy should walk around with a snare drum. I'm really already sick of Ray Liotta face. He really
this is a room full of love.
Karen!
They were going to find the joke book, Henry!
He has a face that looks like it's just healing from a plastic surgery.
How'd you like to mow my lawn?
Jeez, you really do have Kathy Griffin's face.
I'm breaking your balls and you're right away you're getting fucking fed. He just killed little fucking manners.
And Bobby Slayton's delivery.
So you got something happened though with Fox, right?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Well, I got fired.
You got fired.
Absolutely. Opie thought I'd last 100 days, but...
What happened?
What happened? I told the producer to go F themselves.
That'll
say fuck.
That'll do
that's
it.
true.
Go fuck yourself.
I said go fuck yourself.
No, he did
No
say
more
that.
impressions of me. I can't stand hearing all these guys going, oh, it's Psycho Mark. Oh, ho, ho, I want to be Psycho Mark. Yeah, I hear Anthony doing it. Oh, it's Psycho Mark.
I haven't done the Psycho Mark. impression
Thanks,
in a while.
You're bombing,
But
Dude, bombing. I come in and I have the fucking guns of Navarone pointed at me.
Right.
You're not bombing anymore.
That was a good one.
Come back.
That was a good one.
That's fair, though. You come in, it's like everybody like...
Yeah.
It's not going to be a supportive group.
It really isn't that.
No matter how good you are, we're rooting against you.
That is true.
Very hard.
I feel like a bicycle.
Uphill battle.
Stand down the village. Bend over. That is very fair.
Where'd Voss go?
He didn't want to be part of this.
He's on the phone with who?
He wanted to go brush his teeth.
All right, so what are we doing with Psycho Mark here? Well, apparently, from what Ben says... Where's Ben? Where's Ben?
Oh!
The Boston compatriot. He took Voss's chair.
I took Voss's chair. Sit down, Voss.
Go ahead.
No.
Just sit down, Voss, with no self-esteem.
Here he is.
So what's going on, Ben, with Psycho Mark?
Mark wanted to come back on the show, so I told him to write down a bunch of ideas. Because that's
Something he could do.
Yeah, so we
for
wrote down
the
a bunch
program.
of ideas. So those are the ideas. You got them right there. Eric, why don't you just...
Hey, I got the lock in the Starbucks.
Oh, no one else got any?
Eric, you're right in front of him.
I'd like a copy
all
of
the
those
copies.
ideas,
You're
Hawk.
supposed to take one and pass it down.
Hawk? Thank you.
I always think we could bring my golf clubs down to Starbucks.
How about our friends
we should
here?
tee some off right there and head them out
Thanks.
across the street. No.
Wonderful.
Crickets.
All right.
Well, the first idea.
I like where it says first of all. Okay. First of all.
First of all, you need to bring back the two original voiceover guys that do the promos and bumpers. You can't pitch shift the stuff.
Oh, great.
So now he's telling Steve what his job is.
Somebody should.
Oh.
Wait, what do you mean by that?
No, you remember the old voiceover guys? Remember the guy who said, okay, terrific.
Okay, terrific.
Those guys sounded great.
Okay, terrific.
That guy.
Coming in and out of the bumpers, that's all.
Mark's ideas stink.
Ooh.
Okay, well, there we go.
Wait a minute
now. I don't know
That's
about
the first thumbs
That
down.
wasn't an
Guys who
idea.
just sit at a console, get drunk, and watch mudslides and giggle until he fell asleep.
Ooh.
And didn't get the work done.
Jesus.
Wait a minute, didn't get the work done. I always got my job done. If I had to stay there till 12 o'clock on a Friday night, I got it done.
The OK and Terrific guy are going to audition to get back on the show, too, though.
Holy crap.
That wasn't bad, was it?
They're forgetting about our segment really fast.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm hoping for.
Thank God.
Number one. Why don't you describe what idea number one is? If you got a piece of paper.
Yeah,
Could
simple. It
Mark
become-
have his ideas?
Well, with poor Lady Di, I figured after torturing her for so many years and screaming at her that she's a nasty, filthy, disgusting whore, and now she's gone into all these troubles and she's back and she's, trying to get hold of her life, why not I become her sponsor? And,
Sponsor her recovery.
sponsor
back
her recovery.
into productive
try
life.
and get her a job, turn her life around from the filthy, disgusting slime.
How would that help the show? I'm hoping she gets hit by a train.
Oh, well, it's a good thing. You have to look and say, what are the good things?
Christian all of a
Here's the way it's worded. I become Lady Di's sponsor. It sounds nuts, but it could be a hit.
A hit.
I sponsor her recovery back, like Mark just said, into a productive life, getting her a job, a place to live, and turning her life around. Think of the goodwill for the show, not to mention all the rehab, with a dash in between rehab, places Lisa could sell to. T-O-O-O. Lisa could sell also, like she's selling rehabs. Think of all the rehabs she could sell as well.
All right. Well, I don't know. Is she even in rehab? Have we heard from her? Do we care?
We'll say
do the
no
listeners
to
care?
that idea.
All right, that one gets a no.
Boring.
Number two. This looks like something that'll work out.
Why don't you read the next one, Psycho Mark?
Where's your pen, buddy? Eric,
Yeah.
you have to have more than 2 copies of the 400
Because
people.
I wanted it in his voice, so just
Get more copies or I'll bite your face.
read it verbatim, Mark.
Oh, I don't have
Yeah.
a copy. I don't have a copy. No one handed me. Oh, what a bonus.
Number two.
Can we have one of them bring in more copies? No, you don't have to.
Hey,
Hawk.
you don't have a ceiling fan and some electrical cords so I can do some fucking 360.
Dave Chappelle'd him with baseball.
All right, let's go. Oh. Wanda sucks.
Trying Regan.
Trying.
Okay, number two. Number two.
Your second idea.
Brian's like, what?
You got the idea?
Out of the loop.
I mean the copy.
Their second idea, Mark. Let's go.
Mark, read the second one.
Yeah, the Pests.
You can take it right out of Brian's hand.
No, it's fine. The Pests, right?
There's a copy.
Read that.
There.
The O&A
There.
Pests.
Yeah, but I like it, the way it's written.
The way it's
here.
written.
All right, yes, right. Pest. Horrible fucking name. Christ, what are we going to do? Pestirate people? I mean, come on. It's, the pests, the O&A pests. Ooh, let's go around and pest people. Ooh.
But you didn't read you didn't read the part that tells what you do.
Here's how it's written.
So what?
Jimmy is a good reader. Let Jimmy read.
I take charge of the pests. And he capitalizes P and pests and puts them in quotes. Horrible fucking name. Christ, what are we gonna do with the pests? ... Pestirate people? Gay. Fucking gay!
Oh, yes, exclamation.
That has to be changed. ... X. EX.
Example.
Oh, example. Okay, because usually there'd be a colon effect.
And it'd usually be an EG.
Yes, it would be, absolutely. The O&A Assault Force.
Oh,
that's cool, because we're a Saturday morning cartoon.
Start fucking with people at all the shows!
The O&A Assault Force.
And then there's like a cartoon beam that beams the whole force in front of the TV, and they explain it. And we have boring girl, strong hands.
Have you badmouthed our favorite radio show?
The Solopsis.
Meanwhile, back at the studio,
we could have local spawn parties and recruit new members. Set up a quick reaction force where we torture the shit out of whomever fucks with us.
I like this one. It was called the Ku Klux Klan. And I still do.
Plus, I can show them the correct and legal way we can lash out at folks that mess with us without a lawsuit against the show.
Uh-huh. So you're
going to be law-abiding?
He's taking charge and going to be legal counsel to the pests.
Oh, but only lash out at folks.
Yeah, folks. Anybody that's called a folks can't do anything all that wrong.
Like people are farming.
Like if they hassle us when we're baking bread.
Listen, folks.
But the way he comes off is like if you go, hey, listen, you faggots, let me run this. And let's do it. Like, it's like if the general goes, all right, I hate every one of you motherfuckers. Your breath stink. I think you're gay. But let's do this, baby.
He's trying that kind of whole Gunnery Sergeant Hartman thing.
He completely told the pest they ain't shit.
Yeah.
Let me run this. And then we like, let's do it, y'all.
Well, you have to bring people down to nothing before you can then build them up into, like, Marines and stuff. He's just trying to do it in one horribly written paragraph. What takes months.
The pests don't really, I don't know if the pests really need a leader, though. Like,
well, But it was an idea. These are just ideas. I threw
the whole
these
thing
ideas.
is
I didn't expect them all to come on the radio.
You never see mosquitoes flying in a squadron. They're pests.
We like the name O&A Pest, so we'll say no to number 2.
No to the pests.
Let's go to number 3.
Wait, did you already say no to number 1, right?
Oh, yeah, of course we did.
No, we're considering it, Patrice.
Number 3.
We blocked number 1 out like it was a childhood
Do this with
rape.
an open mind, though, you know? You never know.
You're right.
Number 3. All right, Jimmy, you want to just read this?
The show needs local interaction, in each market. Because you wouldn't want that to be just one continuous thought. You might as well pause. The show needs local interaction. In each market.
He should have wrote a, oh, yeah.
Someone needs to be in a different market at least once a week. I know that sounds crazy.
Wacky.
I can't believe I'm actually reading it. But you have to have a sticker stop crazy event once a week in a different location. You can drum up tons of local biz.
1940s. Drum up.
Plus mess with the local competition.
Can I ask you a grammar question real quick? What are a lot of periods after something? What is that supposed to represent?
You're really using it a lot.
Because he fucking just did it. I do it too. I don't know why I do it. It just seems to add something.
It means the thought is continuing, like, and then I'll call you later. ... It means like there's a continuation of that thought. And obviously there has to be a continuation of the thought here because he goes, I know that sounds crazy, but if you have a sticker stop crazy event, ... let's all pause and examine what that could be.
This is the kind of stuff you put together when you're like high on coke. You're just sitting around with, oh, this is great. This idea.
This is the kind of shit
How do you
write.
know, Rich?
Exactly. When Rich used to sit around and write letters with the pencil in his fist, pointing straight down as opposed to thumb finger technique. ... That's it. It's easy to make dots with the pen in your fist.
Like stabbing the paper.
His dots were before the thought, like it was ... and that's why I stuck with cock.
Patrice, what would you know about thumb and finger technique? Jesus.
He went right to monkey.
I did not. You know what? If you see King Kong, he has Patrice's head and Dante's body.
He went to King Kong. He went right to me.
Well, but you know what? I was doing a coke trying to trash him. How did you bring it to me?
You're a racist hack.
I'm a hack.
You junkie hack.
Well, Mark, you want to explain this one a little further or what?
Because this sounds crazy.
Yeah.
Just wacky. It's insane. It's just crazy. I don't know, jumping in each market, and showing up and just having a representation.
Showing up in a market, sticker stops, and crazy events once a week, every week.
I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with the idea that it will drum up a ton of local biz. What type of a crazy thing in each market?
Yeah.
I don't disagree with that, actually.
Like,
Boobs.
boobs. How much you want to be paid for this?
Nothing. I'll do it for free.
Oh,
that helps in the negotiation.
Talking.
I think
We
you should.
love free.
You have a
Right,
better
Patrice?
chance. You have a better
That
chance.
ain't good when you want your own radio show on that motherfucking channel. I tell you that.
Mark.
Once you do it for free, baby, you are Kunta Kinte for life.
Mark, I like to think this is working out, but I think you have a better chance of getting a job at Show World and mopping up the local jizz.
Thank you for your support.
All right, we'll say maybe to 3.
Yeah, 3, definitely. There's an idea about going to
maybe.
local
But
markets. You
you're
have to
saying
have that.
maybe and what, Opie, sending him to the different markets?
What he needs to do is go back to the drawing board and work with.
Who'd you have in mind going to the different markets? Because these guys can't go because...
You can't go. Well, you'll be leading the Pest, though, aren't you going to be?
Yeah.
Well, that got shot down like, an F-16 by,
You're part of the
Japanese
O&A
Zero.
assault force, remember?
So who did you have planned going on these...
You got development.
I was planning on going out and
At the O&A Assault Force headquarters.
So when you wrote the show needs more local interaction in each market, you meant by you.
Yeah, show up at least once a week in a different market where we have an event.
You.
All right.
Oh, okay.
We'll try to develop idea number 3 and come and get back to us. Number 4.
Well, that's already done.
Yes, number 4, sir.
This motherfucker's crazy.
Lastly, for this little memo, ...
LIL.
invite with a capital I because...
N-I-A.
If there's 3 periods, there should be a big capital.
And I am not LMAOing.
Oh my God!
Fucking computer assholes. Lil. Okay.
Well, there's 2. Lastly, for this little memo, invite me back for a little sit down.
We should get Lil Abner in here.
and then he sells himself.
How about a bear trap?
I can crush.
I can crush. I got 5 fucking years pent up in me. You simply have to have a How's Psycho Mark Bin segment. Say no more.
Capital letters.
That's right.
Minus these comedians.
That's exactly how he wrote it in his mind, too. Say no more, nigga.
Plus.
And he stood up. And let me tell you something. Before he pushed enter to print this out, his hand and finger was up in the air for 10 minutes. Going, okay, this is it. He read it again, and he goes, and send. Bam! He said, bam. Plow! Baby, he made just like a superhero. he did Batman quotes over his own head. He went, plow!
Continue, Jimmy.
He looked like Christopher Lloyd and One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest when the Indian threw the fucking sink through the window.
Say no more.
Say no more. Plus, nobody has listened in the last 4 years.
Thanks.
Jesus.
So as far as they are concerned, I'm still fresh.
I'm breaking your balls and right away you're getting fucking fresh.
So why are you?
Well, let's do a House Psycho Mark Bin segment.
I like the idea of that.
There you go. That idea we like.
Because I got 5 fucking years pent up in me.
Pull up a chair.
Pull up a chair and then give us something.
If somebody can clear the field.
5 years. What's on your mind?
Is he part of the? He was part of. I'm not familiar.
Yeah, Mark is from the
part of
NEW
the SM or the original
WNEW.
Yes, a very popular part. Mark was very popular.
Most of the people from NEW didn't come with us to XM.
No, wait a minute.
They've all bombed. They've all bombed.
Did they leave?
Most of them.
You just guys didn't have him back. They tried to come with you.
No. Some of them got fired or left before we even left NEW. He got fired a year before we got fired from NEW.
Oh, he wasn't like a character like
he was.
He died or something. He was
busted his balls, but he did some great stuff for us.
Did great radio for us.
I'm going to lobby.
I got arrested with Mark. I spent the night in jail with him on the Voyeur bus. Mark was part of that.
I'm going to lobby for him because, only in radio can you have every single idea start with, I know it sounds nuts. You can't do that in the regular corporate world. Every one of your ideas says, I know it's crazy. I know this is lunacy, but...
Can you imagine passing this memo over to a corporate event?
Yeah. Every memo at Microsoft. ... I know this is crazy, but why don't we increase the speed of our processors? ...
I know this is wacko, but why don't we sell all our assets? ... Say no more!
You send me to every market with a fork, and I go to the local Planned Parenthood dumpster.
Hey, I got a great idea. We should hire some more Indians. ...
And that's what the fuck I'm talking about. That's it right there. In large letters.
All right, listen. Let's
over
get
the
to
internet.
know.
And somebody says, "Stop yelling."
This would only be crazier if he clipped every letter out of a magazine and pasted it on a piece of paper. The only way this letter could be crazier.
I know this sounds crazy. I killed Jean Benet. ...
Oh man.
Well, how have you been? Let's do the how have you been segment.
I've been good. It's been nice. Yeah. I've been, working for Fox News. I actually took the year off. Now I'm working for my family.
A year off. There had to be something that happened in that year that might have been exciting.
5 fucking
thrilling.
years of pent-up frustration.
Crush.
Let's go.
It says I can crush.
Yeah, let's start crushing.
I was plowing snow this winter. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah?
Up in Boston. We didn't have much snow to plow, but we plowed enough that we could, Oh, joy. I'm ready to choke myself.
What? Where's all the 5 fucking years pent up?
5 years.
5 years. Give us your 5 years, and he had 5 paragraphs worth of pent upness.
So you plowed some snow.
Plus some snow.
And now you're working for your parents.
He had an idea a year.
I'm working for the family.
It's exploding from inside.
There we go. And then, this was 2001. This lady died sponsor. Say no more, baby.
Oh my God.
An idea a year.
Let's go, Jim the trucker. Jim.
Hey guys.
And it would suck if you would have one in December and then one in January. It was a lot of downtime. That was like a big burst of inspiration. The 31st and the 1st.
He had an idea on New Year's Eve, and then
one at 12:10.
Another one right after.
And then one on Halloween. Let's figure out what season he had his ideas.
Wait a minute, you forgot Christmas.
Hold on. Jim the trucker, go.
Jim.
Hey, how about Psycho doesn't hit the mark? Take it easy, guys.
All right, let's go to Mike in Massachusetts. The reviews are coming in here. Mike?
Hometown boy for Mark?
Hello?
Yeah, you're on.
Mike, come on.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God, you're going in. Your engine's just flamed out. You're in a flat spin.
Wait. I'm Mike Harding, and I'm on the radio. Listen, needless to say, he shouldn't get his job back.
Not for nothing.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
Should have been a reason associated with that comment.
Opie,
nothing.
Opie, have you...
I couldn't just... Nothing.
Has he reached... Is this the first time he's reaching back out to you guys?
He's been talking to Ben here and there.
And then he was up in Boston when we...
And he was very pissed off that he wasn't on the first half of the Opie and Anthony show today, weren't you? Thank God this wasn't on the first half.
Was he reaching out 2 years ago?
Were you?
No, I don't think so.
No.
Why wasn't
I reached out?
Why wasn't you reaching out the entire?
I reached out when when you guys got fired and went to XM.
Well, you did an interview on Fox News.
Now apparently, I guess I pissed you off over
Where's
doing
Ben?
an interview, right?
No, that interview was so
Enough
funny,
of the
by the
people
way.
saying that they pissed me off. No, I would have told you.
Are you pissed?
Because I called you.
I laughed my ass off. It's one of the funniest things I've ever heard.
Well,
Get Ben in here.
I
called Ben the night before.
When people accuse Opie of getting pissed off
He was
about
mad.
things,
Yeah,
he
he
gets
was mad.
pissed
He
off.
was pissed at me, and I called him the night before. I called you the night before. I said,
Now you're
Opie,
pissing him
I
off.
go on Fox.
Psycho
Do you
Mark.
care?
And I said no.
Then why are you mad?
I don't know why he was mad
I'm
either.
not mad. Jimmy, shut the fuck up.
You seem mad.
He said he wasn't mad.
And that's my suit.
What?
That's my.
We always accused him of having
Ben in here.
borrowed a suit from
I'm
the
just trying to find out if
prop
he,
department.
if right now he felt he's doing bad and he's just this is a desperate attempt. But if he was always trying to reach out, then
he was. Let me tell you.
I reached out to you guys.
Where's
from day
Ben?
one.
I'll
I
be
got
completely
fired.
honest. I'll be completely honest. Mark wasn't a come in, sit down, and do a break with us guy.
Well, tell Ben we need
Mark
him in
was
here.
the guy that was, he'd go out and do crazy stuff, come running in like a drunken psychopath to comment on some broad that was in the studio or something like that.
He was the Danny of the old show.
Not only was I not a come in and sit down guy, I'm a sit down in front of these fucking animals and tear me apart.
Mark was a very popular part of the NAW show. Mark was a very well-known, well-liked part of the show.
He took chicken to Michael Habranko.
Let me set this up.
That was his first
Hold
bit.
on. Let me set this up. Ben is on the phone with Washington, but Ben to this day plays Psycho Mark's interview from Fox.
Oh, it's
This thing is one of the funniest things ever.
It's full of inaccuracies, outright lies.
How long after the booting was this? Was this like a week after we got tossed?
When we got tossed for Sex for Sam, they were looking for anyone associated with the show to go on TV and talk on our behalf, because Ed and I weren't talking. Brian Regan wasn't talking, even though he was on the next day. Norton, none of these guys. Nobody. Everyone was like, no way, I'm not fucking talking. Psycho Mark decided to go on Fox and Friends. And yes, you did call me ahead of time. I had no problem with it.
I didn't just go out there going, oh, I'm Psycho Mark. You know who I am. I'm going to jump on Fox and Friends.
I think people know if I have a problem with him, I'm going to tell you right to your face.
I heard that interview, and he was all like, well, and the existential
this is what
elements of this...
Ben.
He turned into this Psycho Mark that used to do this voiceover work. Have you talked to your doctor about Stacker 2?
I used to love that one.
Ben is in here.
Okay.
Is that mic on?
Oh, the headphones
Try it
gotta
again.
go. Wow.
Backwards. It's on.
Okay.
All right.
Backwards.
We're about to play Psycho Mark.
Funniest thing ever.
Fox and Friends. Why is it so funny?
Because it's so inaccurate.
Ooh.
Yeah, you got the markers.
Now, time out a second. Now, who did I spend hours before that interview prepping with me? You.
Ooh. Yeah, but I didn't,
you told me everything to say. I was your puppet. Not me, not bad. No.
Now we get the markets right. Jesus, I think
I don't care about the fucking markets.
So they picked you up in a limo, right?
No, they did not pick me up in a limo.
But he had a suit on so he could look all official.
Yeah.
And then he was talking on our behalf.
Yeah, he was like the closest they could get to anybody to represent the show. And it was somebody who had worked for us a year prior, and then he comes.
Wait a minute, time out a second. I was on the air. I was on the air that day with Ben with another couple. So.
Oh yeah, he was there. Mark was one of the runners.
So I mean,
all right, you were directly involved.
It was a week before,
I wasn't involved.
Wow, how did you swing that, having been fired?
No, he was allowed. Jeremy allowed him to come back.
I used to come back on the show all the time because after I got fired, I was on the bus with Norton.
Yeah, because we bitched and complained and told, look, he does good stuff for us. You got to at least let him continue.
I have no frame of time.
But you got to hear this interview because he's
talking. The dinosaurs came.
He's talking on our behalf. He's getting everything wrong. He's in a suit, looking all official. To this day, Ben plays it like once a week just to laugh.
Hilarious.
Look at Mark. He's nuts.
Listen to this. And remember, this happened like literally within a few days of us getting fired.
This was on
the next day.
It was a Friday. We got fired on the Thursday. This was.
No, we got fired Friday officially.
But it was the Friday morning. The statement went out at 4:00 on a Thursday.
Oh, all right. Then maybe it was Thursday.
Ouch.
I don't want to remember anything.
I think it was the Thursday. Actually, I do remember that. We were in Starbucks.
This is hurting.
So is the next day. Here we go. Listen to this.
Unfortunately for a couple of guys who were making millions of dollars a year, Opie and Anthony in New York City, they were fired yesterday after a couple was caught having sex at St. Patrick's Cathedral, and it was all being broadcast on their radio show.
Joining us now with some exclusive details is a member of that cast, Mark Walsh, better known to Opie and Anthony, on those Opie and Anthony listeners as Psycho Mark.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Good.
Thanks for having me on.
Mark,
see, he's got the smooth voice.
Yeah,
he's about to say some official
Thanks
stuff.
for having me on, fellas.
Attention, Red Line passengeros, no fumare on the Red Line arrows.
I've a busy schedule. I'm doing a lot of other talk shows.
Yeah, right after this segment, he's back to miking everyone at Fox.
They take the suit off. He's back in a T-shirt and jeans, miking the next
monkey,
guest.
get over here. O'Reilly needs his mic wrapped around his nuts.
But he's very official sounding. Thank you for having me.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Good.
Thanks for having me on.
Mark, it's a thrill to see you again, especially clean.
Yeah, exactly. With a suit and everything.
I know. I didn't know you
I feel like a pundit, you know.
Give it back to John Scott at the end of the show. That's part of the deal.
Fair deal.
But Mark, let's talk seriously. What happened? Fred was the one, our producer, here to inform you about what happened. You've talked to Opie and Anthony since. What's their feeling about getting?
Well, it was a huge thing.
Okay, hold on. I had not spoken with you at all since we were fired. By that point, as you spoke with Opie and Anthony, did Mark speak with you?
He says honestly, I don't even remember if you spoke to me.
No, because I called you. I wasn't going to go on there without your permission.
Okay.
I was in another world. If you say I did, I believe you, actually.
So then it's just the general Opie and... Either of us have the power of attorney to use the Opie and Anthony name.
All right, here we go.
Happened. You've talked to Opie and Anthony since. What's their feeling about getting?
Well, it was a huge thing, needless to say. I mean, needless to say, the entire stunt was a bad thing.
Needless to say,
I've never heard back-to-back needless to say.
Needless to say.
That is really needless.
That should be like matter and antimatter. Your mouth should explode when you say those things back-to-back.
That phone call from about 10 minutes ago was doing the callback.
Doesn't it, needless to say, make it really important?
Then why are we having this interview?
Needless to say, say no more.
It's like -1 and +1. It's just 0. You say needless to say, silence.
How they feel? Well, Opie was sad, ... And Anthony also wasn't feeling well either, ...
Needless to say.
Say no more.
I know it sounds nuts, but...
Crazy disclaimers that aren't needed.
I love this.
But he's gonna tell the whole nation that it was a bad stunt, a bad idea. Who had the cunt sign on TV?
Yes. That was
But you're going to tell everyone that we did wrong, and it was a bad thing.
I didn't get credit for the cunt sign for a long time.
We finally gave you credit.
That's it. Yeah. Well, it was a huge thing, needless to say. I mean, needless to say, the entire stunt was a bad thing. What happened was entirely wrong, and the boys are very upset that it even happened.
What was at stake here was a trip to the Sam Adams plant up in Massachusetts, and whoever got the most points would get the free trip, right?
Exactly.
And the way you get points is
you go around town, and the couples would engage in lewd acts, in different ways.
They try to say it casually, you know.
They would engage in lewd acts.
You know, lewd acts.
Yeah.
He's just trying to sound intelligent.
No, I'm not.
And like an expert. It's Psycho Mark. That's what makes this so funny.
Lewd acts in different places.
So they'd have sex in different places.
Exactly.
For points, and then someone picked the St. Patrick's Cathedral, and even with a 40-second delay,
well, what happened before the show was, and it was explained to everybody that took part in the show, do not go to St. Patrick's Cathedral. This was told to all the participants before we even went on air that day, okay?
Can I ask you something? Were you in that meeting?
No, but I remember the first sex for Sam. Don't go to St. Pat's. Don't fuck with the Catholics.
He wasn't even in the meeting.
No.
It was explained.
You weren't in the meeting. You weren't allowed in the building anymore.
Needless to attend meeting, I just say...
I remember the first meeting from the first Sex for Sam. Don't go near St. fucking Pat's.
He had a memory of a rumor.
Come on.
Before the event, we all said, no, you weren't there. You weren't allowed in the building anymore.
It's explained to everybody that took part in the show, do not go to St. Patrick's Cathedral. This was told to all the participants before we even went on air that day, okay?
Can I just jump in real quick? I mean, any church there was like 25 points that you could get for going into a church. Wouldn't you just think any church would blow people's
most
minds?
of the stuff that happens is it's radio. It's on air.
Is this Mark?
It's a description.
Yeah. Him and the other guy, they sound exactly alike.
Mark's putting on his broadcaster
He's
voice.
fucking mocking the other guy. He's like, so what happened? What happened? Well, needless to say.
Go fuck yourself.
I had to get the papers. Get the papers.
He's a complete ass. I don't even know who's who.
It's radio. It's on air. It's a description. It's theater of the mind, so to speak. In other words, those acts
So to speak, and in other words, back to back.
Say
no more.
In other words,
say, so to
say no
speak,
more.
in other
A bird
words.
in the hand, worth two in the bush. Don't burn your bridges before they hatch.
That's right.
Keep your head above water and make your way if you can. Temporary
Keep your feet on the
layoff
ground.
is what I think is going to happen.
And keep reaching for the stars.
I think there's going to be some good times. Easy credit is a ripple. With some hard work and determination, Opie and Anthony will be moving on up to the east side to a deluxe apartment. Maybe not in the sky, but at least in Long Island.
Needless to say.
They feel like a schlemiel and a schlemazel.
Now, they could get a job with Haas and Trevor Incorporated. Mark is not thrilled with this at all.
Hey, give a steady chance, they'll take it. Give a steady rule, they'll break it.
Hey, and any move, they'll make it. And they are going to make it if they try.
Doing it their way.
All right, back to Mark. His exclusive interview.
Wait a minute, Opie. Let me put this A on my on everything I own.
Here we go. Happens is it's radio. It's on air. It's a description. It's theater of the mind, so to speak. In other words, those acts necessarily aren't really happening, but they are described as on the air.
Now, wait a minute. Are you saying they didn't really have sex? Because the usher says the people were partially naked.
I'm not going to get into the...
If they wanted to do theater of the mind, they would have been in a car outside and said, we're inside the church, okay.
Well, what happened was there's a fail-safe system on the show. There's a 40-second delay that they use. In other words, they have up to 10 times to dump out of the show within 40 seconds. So if something gets aired that's inappropriate, there's an opportunity to take it off the show.
So why didn't they dump it?
Well, that's what happened. There's a whole chain of command, the system that works with the program director and the general manager.
I don't know who the fuck it sounds like a schizophrenic conversation. They both sound alike.
Here's how you figure it out. Question reporter Drek Mark. He's talking in octagons.
Who the fuck said who said theater of the mind?
He did.
I did. What the fuck was you talking? You know, the Stanislavski method. What? Yes, I had to play a policeman once, and I rode in the back of a police car. What happened?
I just love the fact that he asked Mark, if it's theater of the mind, why didn't they do it somewhere else? And Mark goes, well, there is a dump button. You went into, like, outer space.
Well, they said it was theater of the mind, and they're saying so they didn't necessarily have it. Well, I'm not going to get into detail.
I'm not kidding.
You know what?
We're going to let the president field this question.
The reporter tapped in. He only has 2 levels of intelligence, and the reporter went to the 3rd level. And so he goes, theater of the mind. And that nigga said, oh, shit. No comment. That's his last level of shit. It's the 9th circle of dumbness.
After theater of the mind, he started just going, 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
or like when Captain Kirk fucks with one of them robot things by getting him into a paradox. Mark's head just starts smoking. If you are imperfect, then you must destroy yourself. Must destroy.
He's the computer in war games. The only way to win is not to play.
Well, I believe Joshua could best answer that question. The Whopper computer has a 40-second cutoff point.
Why don't you unplug the goddamn dump button?
All right, continuing.
Theater of the mind. And the reporter must have seen the blood trickling out of all his ears and his eyes started.
Mark's theater of the mind is playing Ishtar nonstop.
As he went into Westworld malfunction mode, Yul Brynner, he took off his face. He started to fix his eye at the sink like the Terminator.
He was ready to say to the reporter, "You pig-eyed sack of shit."
Let me go to Jeremy from Jersey. Jeremy, fast. Get in fast.
Right now, it's Theater of the Mindless.
Oh, shit. Motherfucker.
All right, back to the interview.
That's classic stuff.
It works with the program director and the general manager.
Both suspended.
Well, they both have boxes in their office and are able to dump out of the show at any time. Now, they should have been on the post that afternoon monitoring the show. Now, these guys, it's Opie and Anthony. You know, you're not talking about, you don't go to them for news, weather,
This is not Paul Harvey.
Exactly. You don't tune into Fox for dirty jokes. They're shock jocks.
Right.
So you got to stay on top of them all the time.
So yesterday they got fired.
Fuck! We gotta stay on top of you all the time.
He's trying to make radio friendly the line. You don't go to us to hard hitting news, and you don't go to CNN for dick jokes.
Right.
Like that's what we used to say.
Right.
And you tried to clean that up.
You were the most out of control member of the old show.
Yeah.
We had to stay on top of you.
What are you talking about? I did everything you guys asked me to do,
You were
and then
the
did
shock
110%
jock.
more.
Yes. You would always do
So
what
the
was
problem being...
this interview.
No shit. That's the lies.
I have
That's
some
all.
weird feeling
You guys
that
wanted to play it.
he did this for you, though. He
wanted to help us out.
This is really for you in some...
Oh, it is.
Wait till you hear what he says about us coming up.
Shock jocks.
Right.
So you got to stay on top of them all the time.
So yesterday they got fired. The general manager and the program director have been suspended. Are they going to get canned too?
Most likely. And what happened is the formats will probably change at the station. You'll probably see a switch probably to light music. Like light
So
FM.
they're going to lose all that talk and that dramatic switch that Parmesan made happen.
Well, they're on several markets as well. They're number one in Philly. They're number one in Buffalo. They're number one in Cleveland.
Where do they?
Detroit.
We were never on.
Did you catch
It sounded good at the time.
Hey, we figured it out. Here's his fucking profile. Here is Mark's profile. Did you hear he said, if you turn it back, he said 3 cities that were correct.
Right.
Mark is dumb after the 4th thing. So he came in here with 4 fucking ideas.
Yeah.
He had 4 cities. He went Buffalo, they're number 1. Then at the 4th thing, the reporter asked him 4 questions. On the 5th one, he went
Tahiti.
He malfunctioned after the 4th. That's
All right, listen, we'll play it again. Here.
Holy shit!
All that talk and that dramatic switch that Parmesan made happen.
Well, they're on several markets as well. They're number one in Philly. They're number one in Buffalo. They're number one in Cleveland.
Then? Where do they?
Detroit.
Malfunction! Danger! Hey,
Stay out of form.
Detroit.
He had to, in the Terminator when the motherfucker goes, it stinks in there. He had to run through his. He only has 4 answers.
Warning.
Detroit.
Incompetent. Warning.
Sweden. Haiti. Russia.
Warning.
Are there any other cities? There's a dump button. There's a dump
Warning.
All right, we get it. Let's move on with the...
You bubble-headed booby.
This is only a 4-minute interview. We've been at it 20 minutes.
Detroit.
Do they move to another station and do their show from there? Because they were fired from Boston, were they not?
Exactly. They were also fired.
Doing something.
But you know what? I spoke to them last night.
Death. Is that correct, Mark?
Yes, for the mayor's death.
Yeah, they made believe the mayor died.
But this is Opie and Anthony. I mean, these guys, they said the mayor was dead on April Fool's Day.
Right.
I mean, come on. Who's going to really believe it?
Ultimately, this just
how many
people know it's April 1st?
Come on.
Ultimately, though, this shows you how far afield shock jocks have gotten. I mean, it used to be just Howard Stern just talking quasi-dirty, but now we're having sex in a church. The Catholic League, with 350 members, now says, you know what, since they got canned, we're
350 members? You dumb motherfucker. 350 members, there's a force to be reckoned with. 350,000, you jizzbag.
Just like a card game.
It's a Catholic league. They have 7 members, and each one has a cousin. Ass.
In a church, the Catholic League with 350 members now says, you know what? Since they got canned, we're not going to push for WNEW to lose their license. So they're stepping away from
Which is a fair shot, and they had every right to be mad. I mean, Bill Donahue is a good guy, and he had every right to be upset.
Real quickly, did they ever talk about Opie and Anthony? Did they ever sit there and say, well, maybe this is going over the line, or was it just like, hey, let's push the envelope?
With that show, it happened so fast. In other words, it made the air, and it's like, you stepped in crap. Oh, God. What do? You're in it. And it was too late.
Can we bleep that out?
It was all right.
Mark, my last question, are they going to sue to get their jobs back? Because this is what they do. They might have a lawyer that...
Chances are they're in negotiations right now with another company. And we'll probably see them back on the air shortly.
So they'll take millions of dollars from CBS for leaving and go get another job someplace else.
Most likely that's exactly what's going to happen.
All right, Mark Walsh, thanks very much for giving us the exclusive details on the morning show.
Robin.
All right, thanks very much.
Well, no shit. He said we were in negotiations with another company. We'd be back on the air shortly. 2 years, 3 months later.
Shortly.
Where did you get that part from? We weren't in negotiations.
Relative to a human lifespan.
He was making it up.
It is pretty short.
Shortly when looking at the Big Bang.
I sat with Sparks the whole night for hours before I went on that interview, and we talked about the whole thing, what we were going to say, what I was going to say.
You are actually defending yourself by saying you were briefed by Ben Sparks.
I'm too retarded. I can't even remember more than 4 things. How am I supposed to do it?
If he was briefed by Ben,
Christ.
if he was briefed by Ben, they would every question he would have went, well.
Here comes Ben.
I didn't brief you on everything.
Bullshit. We sat in a bar and we sat there and drank and we're like, what should I talk about when I go on?
You were all on your own. You were on.
Oh, that's it. Send me down the river like
I'm
a
not telling
Vietnamese
you down
junk.
the river. You went on. You were dying to go on. You were dying for the attention.
Ooh.
Uh-oh. Hey, look, you get it when you can. What can I say?
I love that interview.
Yes. All right.
I'm glad it...
a lot of
it
people...
is funny, though. It is funny.
Are we losing Brian Regan without you saying much?
No. I'm gonna hang.
All right.
We gotta get to Regan because a lot of people are saying
this is cool. I'm enjoying this.
Why are we dealing with Mark when Brian is here in the studio? They're very upset.
I thought the same thing. I looked in this room. I says, "Why am I walking?"
Let's play Brian's interview. He did with Fox.
Let me explain
At
to
least
Brian
he got
too.
our markets right.
Trying Regan because Brian's like, well, they were doing some bit and we were just.
We bombed horribly and
We were making up comedian names with bombs like Laurel and Hardley and or just any comedian name that we could find and just Brian Robbins trying.
I like it.
D.L. Thruly.
D.L. Thruly is funny.
Before we're done with
the funniest one was when someone just wrote in Rich Voss.
Here's Dugout Doug.
What's up, show? Hi, Mark. Great to hear you on the air again. I'm a big fan. But I understand you asked for the pests, and I'm sorry, sir, but you can't have them. You can't just ask for the pests, Mark. You have to take them.
Time out a second. I'm not asking for the pests, all right? This was a memo I wrote to the guys. Little did I know it would be put on air, like Sparks likes to do, and pull everyone's pants down. It was just an idea. I'm not asking to be the pest.
It says, too, I take charge of the pests.
It's an idea.
Mark,
yeah.
I didn't take charge of the pests.
Who?
I went out and I earned it, and I was handed the position.
Okay,
when you were taking a year off working for the family, I was putting up billboards in Orlando. I was advertising for XM on Sirius. I was taking over radio, my friend. I and all the pests came together to work for the boys, not to do what we were asked, like you were asked. But we did what we weren't asked. We went above and beyond what the show wanted, and we delivered every time.
And I did it.
Damn good.
I asked for it, and I did it.
All right.
Make it famous, Mark. Just understand, you were a big diamond in the rough when they were in 2 markets. But nationwide, they need star power like me.
So there's going to be no O&A assault force?
You don't like the assault force?
on Mark?
No, the assault force name.
The name that he came up with, O&A Assault Force.
We got away from the Army thing because every other stupid show has an Army.
Yeah.
We're pests. We pester.
There you go. Okay. Idea is done.
All right, Doug,
let's put it to bed.
Thank you.
We don't have an army. Our fans are called O&A AIDS.
All right, Mark, take number 3 and work on it, and report back to us.
You guys should do like
local interaction.
Breakfast flakes, you know?
You think that in
the wacky morning zoo or something? You know what I'm saying?
Wake up with the breakfast flakes.
Yeah, there you go.
It sounds nice and it sounds sweet.
All right, we're gonna take a break.